Hello, it's Gabrielle here from Boingboing and the Centre of Resilience and Social Justice based at the University of Brighton. One of the primary aims of the Hastings Opportunity Area is to ensure that staff feel confident around resilience and promoting mental health and wellbeing across the school. And of course that includes staff wellbeing. So Boingboing has been asked to share some information from the evidence about how to promote staff wellbeing. And if you've seen our previous videos or you've met me before, you'll know that resilience is about trying to plan across the school, not just saying to everybody individually, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, you need to sort yourself out. So this particular clip is about the Noble Truths, which are some key principles that you can use when you're thinking wide about where should we start, what should we do to try and make sure that our school has a resilient culture. Enjoy the video. Here's some good news. The resilience research tells us that behaving resiliently in times of challenge and adversity is just about normal human adaptive systems, what Anne Maston refers to as ordinary magic. This could be things like getting fresh air and exercise, staying connected, eating healthily, getting enough sleep, or just having a laugh. The problem is that in our current circumstances, there's just too much to do. There's too much to think about. There's too many decisions you need to make like this, too many new things to learn. And so some of the things which we know would sustain us are just getting pushed out. You put them off. You don't necessarily have your healthy meal. You don't meet up with your friends. You're busy. And so we need to think about planning them in, making them part of the school day, making this part of your school processes so that we can ensure we build a resilient environment. Where do we start? As we've said, creating a school culture with plenty of opportunities for building resilience is more effective than saying to each of you, here's how to make yourselves more resilient in this adversity. Some of you have seen the resilience framework and know it uses evidence from studies of resilience, as well as the experience of practitioners and people with the lived experience of adversity. If you'd like to download your own copy now, then pause the video and go to boingboing.org.uk and look for the resilience framework. It was designed to look at systems which might promote resilience in children, but the key principles are helpful when thinking about your own resilience. The resilience framework embodies that idea from the research that resilience works best if the whole environment is filled with resilient moves, and you can use it to plan right across your environment lots of opportunities for people to build their resilience. We'll be talking about that in other videos. If you're going to sit with your colleagues and really plan how to make the whole school a resilient place for staff, then a good place to start is the Noble Truths. They are the principles that underpin resilience and help you to get going on thinking about more specific moves. The first Noble Truth is acceptance, and that's pretty pertinent for the current situation. Working in Hastings has always been pretty tough because of the multiple disadvantages here, but also incredibly rewarding because you make such a difference to children and families. Since COVID, that inequality has got even worse and made your work even more challenging. At Boingboing, we have a social justice approach, and we believe schools and staff can challenge the inequality and adversity wherever possible. But you also need to hold on to some energy to do the job in hand, and acceptance is key to that. In some ways, acceptance is about accepting where we're at the moment and in the moment. Nobody wants to be in this situation, and we may have some regrets about what's happened in the past, but in order to move on and preserve our mental health, we need to start from where we're at and build on that. The other side of acceptance is accepting things about ourselves. Maybe we're not our best selves at the moment. Maybe certain pupils or certain colleagues seem to particularly press our buttons at the moment. And we can accept that about ourselves. We can notice it. Perhaps we can talk to someone else about it so that then we can move on and create positive relationships with those people around us. Conserving is about conserving the good that's going on, conserving what you're doing well, conserving the good things that you already have in your life. And conserving is also about conserving your own boundaries and conserving your own energy. So not trying to fix everything, not assuming you can put everything right, looking after yourself and your own family as well as all the demands which are made on you as a teacher. Commitment is fairly self-explanatory, and we know that young people really thrive when there's an adult they trust in the school who really commits to them. But commitment is also thinking about how far you can commit. We're trying to hold plans lightly at the moment because there's so much change going on. And also there's a whole range of different initiatives and ideas in this new scenario that we're in. So when ideas are suggested, we need to think about, can we actually commit to do them for the whole time? Do we have the energy? Is it going to be possible? And really only take on things which we feel we can commit to. Enlisting seems so obvious to be doing, but when you work in education, you're making 1,000 different decisions a day. You're having to react, you're having to think on your feet. And this means we can often end up just doing things ourselves because it feels quicker. But actually, if you're planning on having a policy which supports staff wellbeing, we need to think about how can we use what's out there already. Some of the schools I've worked with in Hastings have had this fantastic model of dialogue and really using the ideas and energy of all the staff. And other schools have used what's out there in the communities, local businesses and youth groups and so on, to try and come up with joint solutions which are going to solve some of the really difficult challenges we're facing. That's the summary of the Noble Truths, and I've got lots of bright sunshine in my eyes now, so I better go. The rest of the videos will look at the specific components and very detailed ideas about the type of things you can do, which the evidence suggests will look after your well-being. So I'll see you later. You can find out more, including information on Boingboing's academic resilience approach, from our website, boingboing.org.uk, where we have free to download resources and also a guide to children and young people's mental health in schools with a COVID edition.